Samsung has just officially unveiled the new Galaxy A35 and Galaxy A55. Both devices are part of Samsung's mid-range, and it seems that in this generation they have decided to give special emphasis to the material used to have a premium feel in the hand. Let me first tell you about the features of the Galaxy A35, which is the smaller of these devices. Its processor is the Exynos 1380. That is, it has the same processor that the Galaxy A54 of the last generation had. So in some ways, it's going to look quite a bit like the Galaxy A54. The screen is 6.6 inches with full HD plus resolution and Super AMOLED technology with 120 Hz in its refresh rate. In addition to that, through Vision Booster, it can get up to 1000 nits in its brightness. The main camera is 50 megapixels with optical stabilization. Then we have an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera and finally a 5 megapixel macro camera. In the front camera, we will find 13 megapixels and has the ability to record video in 4K at 30 frames per second, both front and back. It also has digital stabilization and has HDR for video, which we should test later. There are versions with 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage, in both cases with support for a micro SD. The battery repeats with 5000 milliamps with support for 25-watt charging, but it is not included in the box. As they all count, the main improvement focuses on the processor and materials, as it comes with aluminum frame and also Gorilla Glass Victus Plus protection, which can raise the level of feeling. However, these are not inexpensive devices. The base version of this Galaxy A35 in Europe has an advertised price of 380 euros, although remember that prices here are not the same as over there. And it is also likely that Samsung will apply some promotions, but you have to wait for the regional launch. Now let me tell you the specifications of the Galaxy A55, which is also going to be very similar to the last generation, focusing its improvements on the processor and design. For starters, we are going to find the Exynos 1480 processor, which is the latest that Samsung has released for the mid-range. The screen is 6.6 inches, Super AMOLED, protected with Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, Full HD Plus resolution, and 120 Hz in its refresh rate. The remarkable thing here is that the GPU of this new processor is made by AMD, so it promises a lot of graphics power, although we will have to wait for the optimization of applications and games to see if they really get to take advantage of it, but it seems that it does have power. The highest configurations go up to 12 gigabytes of RAM with 256 gigabytes of storage. In camera, we see exactly the same as last generation, 50 megapixels with optical stabilization for the main camera, 12 megapixels for the ultra-wide camera, and 5 megapixels for the 32 megapixel macro camera with selfies. Both devices maintain IP67 certification against water and dust. They arrive with Android 14 and a promise of 4 years of software updates complemented by 5 years of security patches. The battery is the same 5000 milliamp battery with 25-watt charging support that is not included in the box. It is available in several colors and the base edition starts at 480 euros. But remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. As I told you, we will wait for a regional launch of these devices to be able to know their adapted price. Hopefully it will be competitive, although it is not a feature that usually highlights much to Samsung devices. We will also have to test these processors because we already tested the Exynos 1380, and although it is not a disaster, it does not really stand out too much. But let's wait to test the Exynos 1480, which we hope has moved up a notch to really give users what they deserve in that price range. And if you were in doubt, these devices don't arrive with Galaxy features, and that premiered in the Galaxy S24 Plus series.